G'day guys, welcome back to TIG Tech. My name's Petro. In this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to start moving away from just focusing on the cybersecurity and like hacking stuff, and introduce some more tech stuff that I do. So some of you guys that know me know that I do some web development, or used to do some web development before I got into cybersecurity. And one of the big things that I used to do was help small businesses and even just individuals get websites up and running. And the absolute easiest way to do that, other than using services like Wix and Squarespace and places like that, is to use WordPress. And if you guys haven't heard of WordPress, then you're about to learn some really cool stuff. So WordPress is essentially what they call a content management system, or a CMS, and it's used to basically run PHP based websites, really. There are a lot of themes, and usually WordPress revolves around themes, which you can get for free, or you can get some really decent websites, themes for like $50-$60 or so. And there's a website that I'll show you guys where you can purchase some themes, and I'm talking like really professional, like the sort of websites that you would pay thousands of dollars for someone to design. So if it's not really quite what you want to stick around for, then I totally understand if you want to move on to the next video or so. But I think stick around, you might actually learn something here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is web hosting. Now, there's a few different ways you can go around web hosting. You can use, if you're technical enough, you could use Amazon, AWS, or Google Cloud, or any of those sort of places to get yourself like a free tier server and set up a web server on that. But if you know how to do that, then chances are you're probably not interested in this video. But either way, that's a free way of doing it. It's much more technical for the non-technical person. But for everyone else, small business owners who just want to get a website up and running, and a decent one at that, with your own domain name, all that sort of stuff, you should look into a web hosting reseller or provider. In Australia here, I think one of the best companies, or if not the best web hosting company we have here, is Venture IP, and I used to do a lot of web hosting through them when I was starting up, and I had a dedicated server with them before I started getting into cloud computing and moving all my resources to Amazon. So if you're starting out and you just got a simple website that you need to host, then definitely check out something like Venture IP. I would try and move away from companies like GoDaddy or Crazy Domains. Those sort of web hosting providers are going to be cheaper. Definitely they're going to be cheaper. You're probably paying like less than $5 a month for something like that, but they're total garbage. It's total shit. It's really bad. Just stay away from it. If you actually care about your business and having a fast, responsive site that's going to get listed on Google really well, don't cheap out on it. Really don't. So stick with something reputable that has a proven track record, like Venture IP. And I'm not sponsored by them at all, by the way. I'll just make that very clear. So once you go to the Venture IP website, or whatever the hosting provider is that you choose, you can go to the web hosting tab, and then down here you'll look at different plans. And at the moment they've got a pretty decent sale on there. I think for most of you guys, if you need just a small website, just to chuck on your business card, you're not going to be getting that much traction, then honestly I'd just begin at the starter. 5 gigabytes of SSD cloud storage, it's more than enough for a simple WordPress site. and everything else there looks great as well. I wouldn't get too far into the technicals. So what you can do is purchase that. During that transaction process, you can select to also purchase a domain name. A domain name is like ventureip.com.au or .com or whatever it is that you want. You'd be able to purchase a domain with your web hosting package. They'll stick those two together, and you'll have they'll send you details once your web hosting service is set up, and those details will be to log into the back end of their server, and the back end of your hosting account, and that will give you access to uploading files, HTML files, and installing WordPress and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to use Venture IP for this demonstration because I've got my own server, but once you get an email with your username and your password and all that sort of stuff to log in to your web hosting provider, the chances are that you're probably going to be using Cpanel, which looks like this. And your hosting provider might have a different looking page, but Cpanel is it's a pretty popular web host management software that a lot of big companies use, resellers. So I would say it's the one that's got the most support around in the community as well. So you'd be able to do anything you need. You'd be able to do a quick Google and you'd be able to find answers for it. So far we've gone to your web hosting company. We've purchased your hosting package. You've got yourself a domain name. Let them take care of the rest by putting 2 and 2 together, and then you'll just get your login to log into your website. So if we were to just go to this website now, so tigtech.cyberfly.com.au, I'll pop this in a new tab. This is all I get. It's just a blank domain with a simple index page on it. There's nothing there at the moment. So let's use our details that were provided to log into our Cpanel interface. So I'll just click login there, and you'll get something that kind of looks a bit like this. Your hosting provider might have a different theme that they use in the back end here. But the first thing that we want to do here is not go through all of this stuff because you're just going to confuse yourself. Just pay attention to what you really need. So in this case, we're going to go straight down to databases, the databases section, and we're going to select the MySQL databases. So I'm just going to click on that. We're going to give our database a name. So I'll just do DB, DB1, and I'll click create database. And that's been created. So I'll go back and I'll scroll down a bit here and create a user for that database. So I'll just type user and 1 and a password. So the password, I'll just use something pretty weak. Password 1, 2, 3, and some special characters. There we go. All right, cool. And I'll create that user. You want to remember the password that you use there, otherwise you'll have to go back and reset that password. So now that we've got those two created, we just need to go down here and click down to the add user to database section, and we want to add the user tigtech_user1 to the database tigtech_db1, and we want to click add. And from here you can tick the all privileges and go down and make changes. And that's been saved, and from here we can just click go back, and that's all we need for the database section. So now we'll go back to our web hosting homepage area. So you can just click the Cpanel icon up there, and we can go down to the file section and click on the file manager. And from within here, we want to double click on the public_HTML. Now this public underscore HTML, that is going to be the what the public's going to see when they go to your domain. So if I add a new file here and just call it index.html, and I'll go create new, and then I can right click on that, edit, edit, and here I'll just say hello world, cheesy, and then we'll go back here and refresh, and that's what I get, hello world. So that's the first thing that it's going to see is that index file, and it's going to show me whatever's in it. So from here, technically, if you know HTML, you could build your own little HTML based website with a bunch of different HTML files and simple links, and that's okay if you want to do that, but we're going to take it one further. So we're going to go back, and we don't need that anymore, and we don't need this file anymore, so we're just going to delete it. And what we're going to do is go to wordpress.org/download, and if you scroll down a little bit, there's a nice big button there that says download WordPress 5.9 or 6 or whatever it is at the time. You're going to download that file, and it's just going to be a zip file, and then you're going to want to upload it here. So I've got the file here, so I'm just going to drag it into here. So you click that upload button, and then you can drag the file in here or just browse for it, whatever floats your boat. Oops. There we go. So we'll wait for that to upload, and that's done. And then we want to click the go back, and there's our zip file that we've downloaded. So now from here it's very simple. You just want to right click on that, and you want to go to extract and click extract files and close, and then you want to open up this WordPress folder. You want to select all of these, and then you want to move them back into the public underscore HTML directory there. And then we'll go back to that directory, and we can delete this empty WordPress folder because we don't need that anymore. And at this point, we're ready to start installing WordPress. So what we're going to need is the details for our database that we created, and all we need to do is go back to our site, refresh the page, and this is the WordPress installation guide. So you want to select the language that you want to install with. So in this case, I'll just select English US, continue. This page is just telling you what you need before you proceed. So we need database name, the username, the password, the host, which will most likely be localhost, and table prefix, which we're not really going to worry about. So we've got all of that, so we're going to click Let's Go, and we're going to fill out all this information. So if we go back to the cPanel home and go down to the databases, we're going to find all our information here other than the password that we need. So tictech underscore db1, capitalization is very important here as well, so make sure you've got your case sensitive stuff going, and tictech underscore user1. So let's go fill that in. So the database name is tictech underscore db1, username is tictech underscore user1, and the password was password 123, and then some special characters in there, and that's it, and that's all we need there. And then we're just going to click submit, and it says yep, all Sparky, ready to install the ready to run the WordPress installation. So you just click run the installation and it will take a couple of seconds. That's done. You want to give yourself your website a title. So let's just say TigTech's new website, and we want to create a username for the user. I'd recommend not using something simple like admin or root. Use your name, or use your website's name, business name, something like that. So in this case, I'll just do TigTech. This is the password that's given me, so you're going to want to save this somewhere very safe, because once you click install, even if you've got a password manager or something, it's not going to prompt to save it. So make sure you actually copy that. And then you want to chuck your email address in there. So I'll do petru@tigtech. Actually, I shouldn't do that because I don't have that domain. Cyberfire.com.au. There we go. So here you can choose whether you want to discourage search engines from indexing your site. And there's a couple of reasons why you might want to do this. You might have a development area. So, for example, I might not want this to go live straight away and people to start finding the site. Maybe I just want an environment where I can customize the website, add the content and images and all that sort of stuff, and get it to a point where I'm happy with it. And then I might want to migrate that to a different server or a different domain, or simply just start indexing the site once it's ready. So using this doesn't exactly stop Google from indexing your site. They can still index your site, but it just encourages them not to. So you're not going to it's going to try and prevent Google from indexing your site, but it's not a guaranteed way of getting your site unrecognized. So I'm just going to not worry about that right now. And I'm going to click install WordPress. So that's all done. And once I click login, I'll have to provide the login details for this, which is TigTech and the password. And I'll click remember me and log in. So at this point, I can save that if I like. I'm going to delete all of this after this video anyway. So at this point, I can then go back to my website and see what it looks like now. So this is now my site. So I've got the name of the site, TigTech's new website, a simple page or sample page, a little header image here, and just a post that says hello world. If I click on that, I can come down, I can reply to that if I like. It's a very, very basic website at this point. From here, you could go to appearance, themes, and you could go to add new, and you could search for some popular themes that that are free. I think there might also be some paid ones in here as well. I'm not sure. But you can search through this in your own time and find something like this. And you might say, okay, well, this looks nice. You can click install. Just give that a second, and I can then click activate. And then I can go back to my site and see what it looks like now. So it's just going to load. There we go. So now it looks a little bit different. No better than what I had before, really. So now let's talk about professional themes, like more expensive ones that are going to be probably the best thing you can do. And the reason why is because you've got Wix, you've got Weebly, you've got Squarespace, all those sort of websites where you'd be paying $30 a month or whatever it is, where you could set up a a web hosting service for $5 to $10 a month, and just purchase a theme for about $50-$60 or so, and that's a one-off payment. So all you're going to be paying is that $5-$10 a month or so for your web hosting, and on top of that you get, in most cases, unlimited email addresses. You can have unlimited subdomains, so you could have website 1 at yourdomain.com, website 2, etc. There's so much you can do with shared hosting compared to just purchasing something like Squarespace. So I'm going to show you guys Theme Forest. So okay, so this is Theme Forest, and it's a marketplace for themes, and you can purchase WordPress themes from here too. So we can go to the WordPress section and we can narrow it down to what type of theme you want. So for instance, you might have a real estate business and you want to list some properties on your website, and you want to easily be able to add and manage those properties, like realestate.com.au or something like that. So let's go down and have a look at some of these. There's some relatively decent sites here. So let's just have a look at this one, for example. So open this up in a new tab, and we'll click preview item. Okay, and this is what your website could look like. So it's a pretty simple landing page, and let's see if there are some property pages that we can look at as well. So property detail page. Okay. Here we go. So these are some of the examples here. So let's just say I think that this one here looks okay. So let's have a look at that. Okay. So here we can inquire for a property. These are the images for that house, which you would upload yourself. You've got all your information here: how many bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. And you might go, yep, okay, I'm happy with this, and you want to contact the agent, and you can do all of that sort of stuff. So the themes can do quite a lot. Let's have a look at just popular themes. So here we've got a multi-purpose Woocommerce type sites. Woocommerce is a plugin you can use for selling online products. So you could add products to your site. You can connect PayPal to accept payments, all that sort of stuff. So that's another really powerful tool that's used in web development as well. So either way, there's quite a few themes here that you can look at, and you expect to take a few days to find a theme, because there's so many here. The prices vary. Look at the comments that people have made about the theme. Look at how the authors respond to the comments. Is there any support there? That sort of stuff, and then slowly make your decision towards what sort of theme you want. Once you get that theme, there'll be instructions on how you can upload that to your WordPress site, but it's literally as simple as just clicking Add New and uploading a theme. So you can click Upload here. You would select that theme zip file that you download from Theme Forest, upload that into this, click Activate, and you'd be good to go. And then from there you can customize your theme, all the colors and all that sort of stuff that you like. It does take a little bit of time to get used to. It's definitely not like drag and drop the way that other like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, all that sort of stuff does. but it is far more superior in terms of customization and getting exactly what you want. And there's also a lot of WordPress developers out there, not just WordPress, PHP developers that can develop a plugin for you if there was something particularly that you wanted. And that's the other thing about WordPress as well, is all the plugins. There's so many plugins, like, for everything. So there's definitely a whole world to explore around WordPress. So that was pretty much it. That's a very basic overview of just getting yourself a hosting provider, hosting service, domain name, installing WordPress, and in a matter of a few minutes, we've gone from absolutely nothing to actually having a workable website here. So that's all for this video, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, particularly regarding web development as well, feel free to ask me. I was developing websites for 10 years plus, so I know quite a bit about that industry. Check out some of my other videos if you're new here as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. See ya.